Hi, good afternoon,
Well,
everyone. Um, Welcome to our first webinar session. It's Locking Growth and how ADDMORE services can cut costs and not corners to improve your business efficiency and profitability. You guys can discover the power of streamlined business solutions. I have now our president and owner, Colin Addley, and my name is Ronald Boubier. I'm the business development manager for ADDMORE Services.
hey
And
Ron, thanks for that introduction.
okay.
It's great to be here with you today. You're doing a great job helping me build this business, and we'd like to welcome everybody to the webinar. So you have to bear with us. It's our first one. We're not as slick and professional properly as we should be yet, but we will get there. We'll be doing these regularly, at least one a month, if not more, and sharing knowledge with people. Not just about selling our services, but we want to share knowledge with people who are interested in outsourcing and offshoring. And obviously, if we can explore how ADDMORE can be a partner, that will definitely assist you in driving efficiency and profitability with the experience that we've got so far in the industry.
Thank you for that. Yep, correct. With my experience of 20 years in the BPO industry and the outsourcing industry, I'd love to know more on what ADMORE services do or our company specializes in.
Yeah, I mean, we're headquartered in the United States. I'm here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we have a prominent talent presence from the Philippines is our core team. Has been a lot of that team has been with me 15, 20 years. But we've also been developing in recent time especially for the East Coast of America, our Latin American base, and that's working out very successful, very good candidates, and the time zone alignment is great for the East Coast of America. I'm also I lived in South Africa and I'm utilizing my contacts there. But that for South African talent, we're more prominently offering services to the UK, and we even provide manpower to Australia um, for the mining industries and things like that. So we offer a varied amount of businesses, but primarily it's outsourcing where you subcontract the work to us and we do it, or offshoring where we find the team and create a team for you. We find the talent, you retain the control, but you don't have the red tape of setting up an offshore team. We do all that for you, and you just pay a monthly fee, including the person, and we take care of everything else. Um, of course, business efficiency and profitability matter. Every business person is aware of that, but efficiency definitely leads to optimized processes and cost savings. So in ADDMORE, for example, we've just been implementing ISO 9001, which forces you to structure your workflows and processes. This means for anybody onboarding into the company, the way we do things, how we do things, it's documented, it's recorded, and I would recommend it to any entrepreneurs out there that once you get to a reasonable size of turnover, that it is a benefit to you to have ISO 9001. We'll be going further on that journey probably later in the year and going on for ISO 27001 because processes definitely assist cost savings, and we can't stress that enough. Profitability for any business ensures long-term sustainability and growth. And none of us are here to be in business for 1 week or 1 year. We're all building businesses either to build it long term and have employees sharing the company, or family members take over, or even to sell the business eventually. But the majority of people who start a business, it's a long term goal. And to do that, you need to be profitable. If you don't have profit, you're not going to stay
Correct.
in business very long. Yeah. In a fast paced market that we're in now, businesses have to learn to be adapt and scale to stay competitive. So
That's
AI,
true.
you don't have to have AI everywhere in your business, but you need to be aware of what AI is out there. Even if it's something as simple as Chat GPT to start with, and
Correct.
moving on to others. There is a lot happening in the architectural engineering construction industry with AI. And as I said, in a fast-paced market, you must be adaptive and scalable. Otherwise, your competitors are going to be ahead of you in the game.
That's true. What do you think are the most common challenges faced by the business today?
Well, linking back to what we were just discussing, I would say that inefficient processes um, are key. I actually get engaged by several companies as a consultant to go in, do an overview, give a report. And some companies they
Yeah.
just want the report and then my recommendations, and I'm not involved beyond that. Other companies want me to be part of the implementation of the processes that we recommend. And inefficient processes I see in many different places, particularly in all sorts, from architectural practices who might be fantastic at design and so forth, but they're not resourcing using their resources properly or allocating them properly, or their processes of how they manage the work are not efficient. And that's one of the number one, I would say, the inefficient processes and resource and not using your resources properly in terms of allocation. Number two, I see high operational costs. Now, any manager worth his salt is totally on top of his cash flow, his financial status. And yes, we all like to have a lot of things, but we have to live within the means of the company's budget. So
Correct.
having a good budget and being aware of your budget and keeping a budget that is workable with the sales that you're trying to achieve is critical. High operational costs. I saw in one company I visited recently, they had several project managers with credit cards, and they were running up large bills just buying materials, jumping on flights, where when they stopped the credit cards, upon my recommendation, they they actually were getting better savings by having somebody in the office organize the flights. They were buying materials more efficiently than a bunch of individuals buying small quantities. They could sometimes consolidate orders and get a better price and put it into the facility. So being aware of your operational costs is key, and live within your means, as the very good old saying. A lot of companies also have difficulty scaling operations, and this is a real problem where ADDMORE is a solution in what we offer. Because if you are a small business and you want to scale, you need people. You can't take the people before the job. And if you get the job, it takes time to hire people locally. It takes you 3 months, 4 months to find the right people, if you can find the right people in some cases. So what we offer is when you're growing or you have a large project that just is outside your normal, we offer the outsourcing option where you can subcontract work to us and we will do it and ease your burden, or we can create that team for you offshore, and we can normally put that together within 2 to 3 weeks, and you can have a team offshore for the duration that you require at that a term that is acceptable with us, and you're only paying for the guys. The software's provided, everything's there, so you're saving, I think, up to 60% in many cases. So if you want to scale your business and you don't want to have to go out and buy new software, new hardware, new desks, new places to sit,
Yes, sir.
more HR issues and car parking, everything that goes with it, I think you should really look at outsourcing and offshoring as options and contact us separately. Also, what I've noticed is some of the businesses who are trying to grow, they start off, I'll use millwork as an example because I do a lot of work and consulting millwork companies. I meet a couple of guys, great millwork guys, know wood inside out, produce a fantastic piece of furniture, wall paneling, entrance lobbies, excellent. But they have no estimating experience of real substance. They have no quantity surveying experience. They don't know how to handle their change order management. They don't know how to really handle situations of giving notices where there's delays, protect themselves, and if needed, to put claims in in position. So lack of expertise, you have to acknowledge as you're growing, you can't be an expert in everything. And in some cases, you need to outsource. You can outsource onshore to a company that's near you, if that's within your budget, but you can outsource nearshore, Latin America, offshore to the Philippines, and you can have those expertise available to you when you need them for the time you need them without the burden of increasing your fixed overhead. I think it's a very important thing of what we offer in ADDMORE services.
I guess we're offering accounting services and HR services as well, right?
We are. We generally are offering support services. So you have an accounting team, but you need an accounts payable. You want an extra
Correct. That's
bookkeeper.
true.
We'll provide that support staff, and we can provide fully qualified accountants, but it is the support staff that is the majority of the people that are coming to us at the moment. And we have setting up teams of 3-4 people for them offshore, controlled by their CFO or senior accountant in the States. And it works very well.
Yeah. Actually, what do you think, makes us stand out from our competitors?
I think the big things is there's this list here, as we can see on the screen, but the customized support that we provide is very much targeted to your specific challenges. So we listen to what is your pain, and we look at what is the solution. So when we go to recruit people, we're not just going to take people that we've got sitting in the Philippines or in Latin America or South Africa and say, hey, these are the guys, these are good. We will recruit. If we have the people already in our data bank, we will provide the CV and a video self-interview so you can see and hear the person. And we'll be proactive in your selection of the people without any recruitment fees or charges. That's a service that's just included. And we customize that to your requirements. And we're very proactive with the solutions that we propose so that we prioritize your goals and your success. We also have a global reach with local expertise. So, we do have people, as we said, in the Philippines and in the Latin America and South Africa, but we also have good contact of people in the UK, people in Australia, people in the Middle East. I spent over 20 years working in the Middle East myself. I worked for 14 years in the UK, and I worked in South Africa and Australia. So I've got personal contacts and establishments in those places. And even here in the United States, we don't provide regularly onshore personnel, but we have a database of good people, specifically in the fit-out industry, this would be for. And we can provide onshore project management if required. So the global reach we have is extensive, and it can really be a game changer when you're in one state and that's the only world that you know. We know the rest of these other countries. I've lived there. My team have lived there. It's a good solution. We also offer as well, apart from the outsourcing, which is the subcontract service or the offshoring where we create a team offshore for you. We also offer the normal full service recruitment with our partner Talent Connect in the UK, where we will source people for you on talent acquisition, and then you employ them onshore. That's also part of the service so that we can give you the maximum support to get what you want. So whether you want a team overseas as like a recruitment processing outsourced solution so that you extend your own HR team, we can do that for you. We can find the people and provide them offshore and create a professional offshore division, a pod, or we can talent acquisition and recruit people for you. So whichever way you want to go that's comfortable with your company and your needs, we can support that. And obviously, we do work in the non-AEC industry, but our specialist expertise is AEC because Obviously, I'm a quantity surveyor. A lot of my team, we built the business on the AEC industry, but we're also doing related industries like hospitality and tourism, real estate and property development, e-commerce and retail. And that can be from the construction aspects through to finding back of house support for them. But we offer more than just the AEC. I think you've got to reach out to us and we can help in many, many cases. And our real priority is relationship first approach.
Nice.
We build, this is a niche company. It's custom, bespoke. We're not looking to be 5,000 people like some of these large BPO companies in the Philippines and other countries. We're focused on our customers, repeat business, and enjoy what we do. And
That's nice.
so
That's
far
nice.
to date, that's been very successful for us.
That's great. So since you mentioned about tailor fit solutions, what are the key services that we can offer to our clients?
Well, we offer a lot of things, which can be for, as I said, AEC, but it can also be for other industries. Like we do customer support solutions, we do back of office operations, we provide digital marketing support. I mean, we built great teams here in the Philippines based on our experience with building our own company. We have good experience and we have good people, and we can help set up remote offshore teams in pods for you.
I guess
AEC, obviously,
I guess the minimum of the our advantage as well when it comes to customer support solutions our company seniority. Most of our employees are more than 5 years in the company, right?
most of the people are, yeah, a lot of people are over in 15 years, over 20 years.
Nice, nice.
And then the people that we employ, by the way, we don't engage generally for the majority of positions. It's a minimum 10 years post graduation.
Nice,
So we're not providing people just 1 year, 2 years out of university. All the people that work for us in our construction side have worked, if they're in the Philippines, but they've worked in Dubai or Hong Kong, Singapore, for major USA, UK companies. They have international experience. So the people in Latin America have worked in the USA, either physically or remotely, familiar with the codes and all the
nice.
quality standards. So that's a big thing to mention. With the HR, we can provide again an extension of your own HR team to work with you at a more cost-effective price. And again, we do the recruitment, we show you the CVs, the video assessments. So you're only taking on people that you're selecting, and you're not paying any recruitment fees. And again, the savings are 50 to 60%. The same goes for the finance and accounting services, which we can offer to any industry, really. It's just a question of not just AEC. So we offer to HR and finance and accounting are general services.
Yeah, so probably what our clients are looking for more on the benefit side, and just in case they wanted to partner with us, what are those benefits?
Well, definitely increase operational efficiency. If they get us involved, we can improve workflows and reduce delays. For example, if it's a millwork company, when we have the manpower, we can put 20, 30 architects on a job to push drawings on a large hotel resort project so that the drawings get through, get approved, get into the factory and get that flow moving. We can reduce those bottlenecks. So increased operational efficiency is definitely there. Cost savings across the board. You're saving 50 to 60% on your local costs if we take the USA or the UK for comparison. And you're not increasing your fixed cost because these costs are expenses that are scalable. You can increase the manpower you use from us, or decrease it or stop it. Obviously, all subject to terms and conditions, but you have control. It's not just a general direct fixed overhead increase. And then when you work with us, we're not replacing your key people. We're freeing your key people to focus on core functions so that they can work with have more time to deal with your clients, um, more time to think on strategic priorities, and the more technical and complex issues that are involved in projects. And we just support your key team with the more tedious functions, whilst important, which are time consuming.
Actually, that's
And
correct. Because they'd be able to take on new clients, new customers. That means increase in profit as well, not only cost saving, right?
absolutely wrong. You're spot
True.
on with that. Yeah. And then obviously, if you work in a small business in one state in the USA, maybe you don't have access to all of the industry best practices that are available. And when they come to a company like us, where we have we work with a lot of companies, we have a lot of experience, and we only function at industry best practice level, because as the beginning of this webinar stated, we believe you can cut the costs, but you don't have to cut any corners. The quality will be maintained, if not improved, but you'll have the cost saving.
I just want to go back a little bit with the operational efficiency. I guess since you mentioned that we have access to Philippines and Latin America, some of the companies in the US are only open from 8 a.m. till 5 p.m., but they have customers calling them, from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. or sometimes in the and probably in the morning, right?
Yes,
Between 6 a.m. till 8 a.m. So they're actually missing a lot of.
that's a really good thing you brought that up, actually, because
Yeah,
what we do, it depends. If it's outsourcing where we're just supplying a subcontracted service, we will let our people in the Philippines or Latin America can work on the times that suit ADDMORE,
correct.
as long as
That's
we deliver it on the time. But if we create a team, it depends on our client. If you've got a team of architects that you want, and you're on the east, you're in Miami, we would probably look more strongly to the Latin American sources, which we have many people working in Miami from Argentina, Colombia, and other Latin American countries, because they're only 1 2 hour time difference, so they can align their time to work with the USA company. If you're on another state, another side, like on the West Coast, we can use our Philippines work staff. And if you need them to be available in your work hours, our teams, is quite common within the Philippines for teams to work night shifts if required. But it's working very, very well for the East Coast with the Latin American side of things. And it works well with South Africa to the UK. But one of the things that I would say is that we work to what you need. If you need people available in your work day, that's what we'll provide you. But we also, as Ron did mention, if you're having a lot of calls outside USA work hours, we can provide our call center personnel, um, and I can provide them also from even Mexico. We have a very nice team in Mexico that we can answer phone calls. We can do it from the Philippines, so that your company can be serviced 24/7 at very reasonable pricing.
correct. That's true. Once
So
again,
this is the key. I want to explain. Sorry to interrupt there, but I want to explain
it's
this
okay.
clearly. There is a lot of definitions of outsourcing, and in fact, most things fall under outsourcing, really. But to make our business models clearer, we've defined what we do. That when you outsource to us, you are subcontracting us to provide a service. So, for example, you ask us to provide an estimate for a local hospital. That would be a subcontracted service. We will give you a price with deadlines, and we will submit that. But if you don't want us to do the estimate, you want you want the estimators to do the estimate, and you want to create a professional offshore division, that is our offshoring solution, where we provide the talent, and we will provide them to you. You can review the CVs, you can review the video self-interviews, and for a defined term, you have access then to professional and skilled talent without having to set up a divisional studio offshore yourself. And trust me, in the Philippines, the amount of red tape setting up a business, it's not simple. So it's very important that people understand these two definitions in terms of ADDMORE services. And you'll hear a lot of there's RPO, KPO, people throw acronyms all over the place. We keep it simple. You want to subcontract something to us, like an estimate, that's outsourcing. If you need the estimators and the people to do it, that's offshoring. And that's how
Yes,
we define it.
that's nice. Yeah, so how do you think client, so here's how you could get in touch with us. Of course, step number one, all you have to do is consultation and needs assessment. Could you explain further?
Yeah, so you'll see our numbers will be at the end of this webinar, but you can book a free consultation with me or with Ron. It's
Yeah,
normally
correct.
15 to 30 minutes, depending on what's required. We can hear your problems. We can give you some advice, no obligations. Happy to share my knowledge on what I'm aware of this. Considering that 20 years in the Middle East, when I first went to the Middle East in 1994, we were outsourcing everything overseas because they didn't have now in the UAE they have many factories and they produce a lot of things onshore that when I was first there had to be imported. So I got very exposed to outsourcing in the Middle East. Then once we've done the consultation and you would like to take it further, we can give you a custom solution proposal and we'll devise a personalized plan that meets your specific needs. And that's done reasonably in a very reasonable time frame. Most customers are very happy how quickly we respond. We we pride ourselves on being responsive. And then step three, once we enter into engagement and we're working with the job, we ensure there's a proper onboarding of a new client to our team to get a seamless transition. And Ron and I don't disappear if we're the
Yeah,
people from the
correct.
involvement. We are here to ensure, in addition to our account managers, normally we don't provide a dedicated account manager to a company unless they have at least 10 people. But we have people who are following your accounts always. And so the service that you get doesn't stop at sales. My frustration with a lot of companies is everyone's great at doing the sales and promising the world. Then it goes over to the reality, and then nobody wants to speak to you. So you don't have to speak to an AI robot. You can contact me, you can contact Ron, and there are many other people in the company. You will get a person respond to you, we will listen to your issues, and we will be responsive. And
Yeah,
then
as
really
soon
the
as they
next step
grow, we
for
can
us,
also assign, direct account managers that they could contact here, right? Let's say if
well,
we
we
get
do that normally when there's 10
um,
people or more. We
10
don't
people
normally
or
assign
more.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The
we're very hands-on, uh, to be honest, right? So
absolutely,
earlier
yeah.
you were discussing about one client before the webinar. We were discussing about one client that was not familiar in outsourcing now from one employee or one team member. That client has now grown to six. Could you elaborate that a little bit further
Yeah,
before we?
we were contacted by an architectural company in Miami. They're a large company. They employ over 200 architects. They needed Revit architects in particular. They asked me for one person. I put one, and then within the space of 1 month, we had six there. They had given them the CVs. So if they wanted one person, we'd give them at least 3 to 4 CVs to select from. And then we would give them the video self-interview so they could hear the accents because there's a concern if they're coming from Latin America or the Philippines, second language English, how about, how difficult is the accent, how really good is the English. So we give a video self-interview so they can hear the person speaking. And we do what we haven't discussed today. One of the things that we do before anybody ever gets anybody from ADDMORE services, we have extensive pre-qualifications. Anybody who's an approved pre-qualified candidate in our company has already been tested for their technical skills. If they say they can do Excel, we test them for Excel. So we want to know if they're basic, intermediate, advanced, And obviously language is English language is one of the tests. We even do some psychological tests. We do a lot of effort because it's not in our interest to provide people that are not going to perform,
That's
and
true.
it's certainly not in our clients' interest. So we put a lot of emphasis on that, and that's if you see the tip of the iceberg, what's underneath the ocean is a huge chunk of people working, pre-qualifying people every day of the week. We have applications, and not everybody is. If you put it in terms of the military, not everybody is going to become a ranger. Some people have to accept they're just in the infantry, and some people are not even suitable to be in the infantry. So I consider us that we're one of the that we employ the top, I would say, within the top 5% in the countries that we operate within, and people that we perform. If somebody was not performing for whatever reason, we offer a free immediate replacement. But to date, that has never happened because
Yeah,
of the amount of some people question how much we do pre-interview people and test them because some people with 20 years experience can be frustrated if they're getting tested too much. But you might have 20 years experience, but I don't know if he can do everything that you put on a piece of paper. So we are thorough on that, and that it's some candidates don't like that, but if you want to be a part of the ADDMORE select team, that's something you have to do to be considered. Um, we then the next steps for us is working together and building a partnership. We work for efficiency, profitability, and growth, and we promise quality, value, and trust. That's
and
our statement from us.
yeah, because some of our employees are already our team members are already 15 years with the client, 5 years with the client. So you
Yes.
can definitely contact us and let's build a relationship. Not just think of us as an extension of your company, but
Yes.
we're and with a much uh,
And there's an
cost.
added value on that.
Yeah,
Most we don't advertise it too much, but when you work with us, obviously you're working with us, we're doing business with you. A lot of the clients, the owners of the companies or their senior management, I get to know them well. And they'll
correct.
phone me and they say, "Hey, Colin, look, we're thinking of doing this. Not every bit of advice we're going to give you is a dollar charge. Once we're working with you we're doing business together, and you phone and you say, what's your opinion on this or whatever, we're more than happy to do that. In this business, mentoring the young people in our own business is a big important thing for us. Getting good graduates, mentoring them, and really looking after our client. This is key to Adeline.
Correct. It's true. And we've also helped like companies that are have we're also looking at LinkedIn job postings that are have been on the job boards like for 3 months already, 6 months. So with the add more services, definitely you could hire within 1 week to 2 weeks because of our filtering services and our HR services here in the Philippines as well as in Latin America, as well as onshore.
Yeah, I'll clarify that. Sometimes with architects and the technical roles, it can take 7 to 14 days. The
Correct.
maximum we've taken so far to find the right candidate, have the client approve them, is 21 days. It's very good. I mean, if you have to go out and get your own HR team to find somebody, go through that whole process yourself and the interviews and all the rest of it, you're not going to do it in 14 days or 21 days.
Okay, that's it for our first webinar session. We're going to open the floor to question and answers. If you guys have any questions, just feel free to chat it on our
Yeah, so if you've got any questions, just type them in the chat. And in the meantime, let's move on to the next screen for the. So while we're waiting for some questions, if I don't know if we're going to get any today, but take the next step today. Schedule a free consultation with us. We will be sharing this webinar to those who've attended today, and they can download this free offer of the ultimate outsourcing formula. For those who haven't attended today, but would like to have the webinar, we will be offering that, and if they share their email with us, we'll be offering the webinar recording and so forth. And for those of you that have attended today, you'll also get the slide shots that we've been showing throughout this webinar. You'll get a copy of them. So it doesn't seem we're going to have any questions.
Yeah, probably in the next webinar sessions, they will, it's gonna be
Yeah,
a lot.
we're
Right,
hoping to build this the webinar, and you know, it takes time. I mean, it's the first
I
one,
know,
and
I
it's a
know.
trial for us and how we do it, even setting it up. And I thank Ron for helping me with that today. And I
You're
think
very
that
much welcome.
the point is that we're all in business to make money, but that is not just our sole goal. We want to connect, we want to partner, we want to collaborate. And we do that, for example, with our Magnificent Seven. We have 7 food and beverage consultants across the United States that I know personally, and we have collaborated with them so that ADDMORE will support them with project and cost management or renderings for a restaurant. But those guys can design a restaurant from the menu to the full, technical aspects of a restaurant. So we also collaborate with, we have a company in the largest marble supplier in China and fabricator. We have a relationship with them. We also have with one of the largest millwork and joinery companies in China for large hotel projects. We have a relationship with them. When I say a relationship, these are companies that I have worked with on. I worked on the Wynn Palace in Macau. I worked on the Encore in Boston. I worked on the Fontainebleau in Las Vegas. I'm talking $3-4 million projects where I've worked with these companies. I know the people. Here in the States, I've worked with many. When in the Fontainebleau is a $4 billion project, there's 36 restaurants in there. I know a lot of the majority of the local and nearby joinery companies, some excellent companies that we're happy also to recommend when somebody says, "Hey, Colin, look, I've got a complicated bar and I need to do it in San Diego. Do you know anyone?" They say, "Yeah, well, yes, I can recommend you 1 or 2 companies." And there's no commissions in that for us. It's just like being helpful to your colleagues in the industry. So
Correct, that's
we
true.
off, that's how we like to operate, and we enjoy what we do. It's been growing, but we want to now take it another level. And I think you'll be seeing more of us on LinkedIn and advertising and webinars, and even at some of the events. We will be, unfortunately, we won't be at the New York show next week, but we will be in the Chicago Design and Build in October in person in a booth exhibiting our products. And the focus at the conclusion of all of this meeting today, I would just like to say, just remember, outsourcing is subcontracting work to us. Offshoring is we'll find you the talent. You'll see the CV. You'll see the video self-interview. We'll deal with the red tape, the HR, all of that overseas. All you'll do is have a price per month, which will be at least 50% less than what you would pay on
That
locally.
is true.
And it's a good option. Really, really is a good option. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining, and for Ron in particular for co-hosting with me. And we'll see you on the next one, which will be notified shortly. Thank you,
Thank you so
guys.
much, guys. Download the webinar, the ultimate guide for outsourcing formula. It's free.
Okay, all the best, everybody.